even the Steelbook itself screams like 80s movie poster to me. Hi guys, Geedrew64 here, and today we're talking about the physical media releases for the month of September, the year 2023. And I know this monthly release video is a little bit later than what I normally like to get them up. I normally like to get them up about the week prior to the month starting. By the time this one goes up, it's going to be September already. So, but better late than never, I think. If you're new here, the way I do these videos is I basically just pick things I'm interested in, some things that I think you guys might be interested in. I'm definitely not covering every single release because this video would be an hour long if that was the case. So if there's anything that I don't mention in this video that you guys are looking forward to, I always like to see in the comments below some other things I may have missed or things you guys are interested in. But with all that said, let's just go ahead and jump into the video. So first up, let's talk about something that was kind of big news last month I did a video on, and that is Loki. The complete first season on Steelbook is coming out. That's right, the end of September 26th. We're going to be getting the Loki, the complete first season. The Steelbook 4K is $50, and the Steelbook Blu-ray is $45, around there. So about $5 more, you get the 4K. That's about exactly what I predicted when I did that video. The prices were not out yet. I did that video once the news dropped and the artwork dropped for those Steelbooks, and I said, hey, I suspect these are going to be about $50. In this case, I was actually correct. $50 is what we're looking at for the 4K on Steelbook. The art looks good. I don't think I'm going to pick this one up. I thought the show was okay. There was things I liked about it. There was things I disliked about it. Overall, it's just not something I'm interested in going back and checking out, and I definitely would rather spend $50 on some of the other things on this list as opposed to spending it on Loki. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Next up, we got Sleepy Hollow on 4K, and this is the standard 4K box, which is the standard art from the poster, and the standard 4K is going to be $22, right? I believe this is the first time it's coming to 4K. But there's also a Steelbook coming out, and this is the same Steelbook from a Blu-ray release. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact Steelbook from that Blu-ray release, but this one is the 4K. They're asking $30 for it. It's pretty high. I think pre-orders are already sold out on this one. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow is a pretty good movie. It came out in 1999. I'm going to be talking more about Sleepy Hollow in another video that I'm hoping to get to eventually, but regardless, yeah, this kicks off like the initial Steelbook phase here we're getting into with Loki, Sleepy Hollow. Let's talk about another Steelbook, and that is Matilda on 4K. This is the Steelbook option. It's going to be $31. Now, I don't own Matilda, and I've seen it many, many times. It was definitely one of my childhood movies when I was growing up. Watched it a lot. It was on TV a lot growing up, so we watched it. This is the first time, I believe, on 4K, and definitely I'm pretty sure this is the first time on Steelbook as well. So first time Steelbook 4K, $31, kind of high priced. A lot of these older movies that are getting 4K restorations and Steelbooks and more premium packaging, you know, something like what Lionsgate's been doing, which is they've been releasing one Steelbook every month, it seems like, of their older movies like 310 to Yuma. Ender's Game was last month, and they're asking like $22. These are 4K upgrades and Steelbooks. I think $22 is a good deal. I think that's good. Once you start getting upwards of $30 for these older movies coming to 4K, even though they are Steelbooks, it's kind of, you know, people are hard pressed to buy it at that price point, and that's kind of the case with a lot of these releases. It really just depends on who's putting it out, but yeah, Matilda is really good. I like the Steelbook for this as well. I like the colors on it. I think it's a pretty cool one. And who doesn't love the Danny DeVito quote? I've used the Danny DeVito quote in multiple videos in the past, and will continue to do so here on the channel.
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
Next up, we've got Star Trek Picard Season 3, which is has the standard Blu-ray here. There is no 4K release for this one, and I did a separate video talking about this, so I won't go too much into depth, but this is the basic Blu-ray option. There's also a Steelbook option. Pre-orders for this one sold out prior to release. I'm expecting mine in the mail tomorrow or the next day, so hopefully it looks good in hand. I'm not a fan of New Trek in general, but I really liked Season 3 of Picard. Wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but to me, I liked it, and it's the first thing from Star Trek that's new that I've bought in over a decade, and I really like the art on it too. Next, we got Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is getting a 4K release on Amazon. You can get it for $26. And the Best Buy, they have a separate thing listed, but it's just listed as the 4K. It's not listed as any kind of special edition. It's $33, but they showcase it with like a comic book or something in it, but they don't actually specify what it is. If you look at the listing, it doesn't say what exactly this is.
What's in the box?
But it looks like there's a little comic that comes with it. Again, this is an older animated movie, asking almost $30 for it, even though it is a 4K restoration. If you own Batman the Complete Series on Blu-ray, this had included Mask of the Phantasm Blu-ray, so I don't know how much better this 4K restoration is going to be over the Blu-ray, especially if you want to pay like $30. It's a great movie. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is one of the best DC animated movies. It's solid. You can watch it over and over again, but still, again, I think some of the prices for some of the stuff on these older movies getting 4K restorations are a little bit too high, in my opinion. Next up, we've got Air, which is coming to Blu-ray. No 4K release for this one, but I am happy that's at least getting a Blu-ray release. This was a movie that I saw in theaters, and I don't go to the theater very often at all anymore, but I wanted to go see this one, and this was an Amazon produced movie, so I assumed maybe it wasn't going to get a physical media release, but it did. I'm glad it's actually coming out on Blu-ray. It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's in my top 10 movies for this year, for sure. I really liked Air a lot. Blu-ray, $25. Good movie. If you haven't checked it out, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can check it out on there for free. It's included in the subscription. Next up is Kick-Ass 2. I'm a big fan of the first Kick-Ass movie. The second one was definitely not as good as the first one. I still have my original gigantic movie poster from Blockbuster when I worked there of Kick-Ass. Great movie. I missed out on the Steelbook for the first Kick-Ass, and they've been sold out. And on the secondary market, it's going for some money that I just don't want to spend money on. But if you do have the first one on Steelbook, the second one not only is getting the 4K, but it also is getting a Steelbook as well. If you had the first one, compliment it here with the second one. The Steelbook they're asking $30 for, and the standard 4K it is $22. Next up is the Princess Bride Criterion 4K Digibook. I've said it before, I'm not really a fan of the Digibooks. The art's okay. This is a premiere release. Obviously, it being a Criterion, I really like this movie. I do already own this movie. This is just like the basic of basic Blu-ray releases for this one. Yeah, it's a really good movie. I'm sure the 4K restoration is going to be top notch because it's Criterion. I think this is the first time it's coming to 4K. Not 100% sure on this one. Again, they're asking $35. It's an older movie coming, but since it's a Criterion, it's a more premium release. So it being $35 is not too surprising. I'm not really a fan of the art, though. I don't know. It just kind of looks boring to me. I think they're going for the storybook feel of the actual book being read within the movie. And if that's the case, yes, I guess it works, but it's just not something that I'm super interested in. If the art was better, maybe I'd upgrade from a Blu-ray to 4K, because Princess Bride's a really good movie. But yeah, I'm not necessarily too hyped on the art for this release. Next up is a movie I never thought I'd see on Steelbook, and that is Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I own it right here on Blu-ray. It's getting a 4K upgrade. I can't believe it. Now, this movie has definitely reached more like cult status over the years. I've watched this one many times over the years, and I always have fun watching it. I don't really know how else to describe it. If you've never seen this movie, it's definitely 80s, heavily 80s. Even the Steelbook itself screams like 80s movie poster to me. This probably was a poster that was used for the release. Honestly, I think it probably would have been cool if they went with the art from the Blu-ray release for the Steelbook. I think this one looks a little bit better, but regardless, I think it's cool that it's getting a Steelbook release. And the Steelbook, again, is kind of high priced at $32 at Best Buy, so just these higher when you're getting older releases, I know I keep saying this.
Yeah, you keep telling me that.
But older releases, even premium Steelbook releases for $30, it's just kind of high priced in my opinion. But we also got The Exorcist coming out as well. Now, I'm not a big horror fan. This isn't something I'm super interested in. I'm putting this on here because it's a big release coming out. I know there are a lot of people who are interested in it, and it is getting, I believe this is the first time it's coming to 4K. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is at $25 for the standard 4K. That's what the slip is here, but it's also getting a Steelbook release as well, and that Steelbook looks sufficiently terrifying and really good. It includes the director's cut as well as the theatrical version version of the movie. If you're an Exorcist fan, I'm sure you guys are all hyped to get in on this one. The Steelbook on Best Buy for this one is listed for $35. That's brand new release price. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that. Next up is another Steelbook. That's right, another Steelbook. And you know what it is? It's School of Rock, and I've got the Blu-ray right here. This is a Blu-ray Steelbook release. This is not a 4K upgrade. I don't think they've ever done a 4K upgrade for School of Rock as far as I know. This is just a Steelbook. It's $20. Steelbook looks pretty cool. School of Rock's a great movie. This is one that I can watch over and over again. Always have a lot of fun watching it. And I think it's cool that if I didn't already own the Blu-ray, I'm not big on double dipping. There's like a handful of my favorite movies that I buy over and over again, right? School of Rock, I really like the movie, but I'm not going to rebuy new packaging for it. Something like Galaxy Quest. I will buy pretty much every release of Galaxy Quest. Back to the Future. The Lord of the Rings movies, E.T. I think I've bought almost all of those releases. Like, so there's certain movies that I will like buy over and over again. School of Rock isn't necessarily one of those, but I do think the Steelbook looks really cool. If I didn't already own the Blu-ray, I would totally be picking up this one. Next up is an older animated movie coming out, and that is Cats Don't Dance. I remember this one being airing on TV a couple times whenever I was a kid. Whenever it was on, I usually ended up watching it, but it wasn't one I saw over and over again. I just remember it being an okay animated movie. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, since the 90s. So it's been quite some time, obviously, since I watched it. So I was kind of surprised to see this one getting a Blu-ray release. There's other animated movies that have still not had Blu-ray releases. I'm still holding out for Rover Dangerfield.
He's Rover Dangerfield.
No respect at all.
Does anybody else remember that movie with Rodney Dangerfield where he played a dog? I mean, I don't know. That's one I'm holding out for. But Cats Don't Dance coming out. It's always good to see these older movies, the older animated movies in particular, getting Blu-ray releases. Moving into some more Steelbooks, we got the Halloween. This is H2O. Never really been big on the Halloween movies. I've seen the first two. I remember the first one. I really don't remember these movies super well. I'm going to revisit them this Halloween because, again, I kind of like these slasher movies, but this is one that I never really got as into. H2O, I remember being the one that people didn't like that much. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert on this one, but the Steelbook on 4K, they're asking $30 for it. Next up is a movie called Fall, which is a more recent movie. I guess a Steelbook was not released when the movie was originally released, so they're releasing a Steelbook now. It looks like this might be a Lionsgate release, just based on the slip for it. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't write that down. But I haven't seen the movie. If you guys have seen Fall, let me know if you liked it in the comments below. Now we're moving into a few reprints. These are older releases, other older Steelbooks that are getting reprints and re-releases. And first up, we've got one that is the Fifth Element, which I have the Steelbook right here. Now this Steelbook was for the Blu-ray. This one is going to be the 4K. So a great movie. Obviously, this is a really good Steelbook. I own it here. That's basically what it looks like. And there is the back. So that gives you a good idea. It's the exact same thing. It's a reprint, but they're putting the 4K in it instead of the Blu-ray. And then next up, we've got the reprint of Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Steelbook. At Target, you can get it for $44. At Best Buy, it's $60. Big wide gap there on prices for pre-orders. If the price was about $40, I think maybe it'd be about worth it, about $20 per movie. At $60, I'm definitely not down for that one. So I don't know. This one may be on my maybe list at this point. I have the first two on Blu-ray. I didn't upgrade to 4K. I have a Steelbook for the first Ghostbusters movie, but it does not look like this one. Next up is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I can't find this one on my shelf, so I think I might actually pick this one up. This is a pretty good movie. This is the 4K. Again, this is a reprint. I don't even remember this Steelbook coming out, so this is brand new to me, but apparently it is, since it has come out because it was a reprint, or it is a reprint of something that's already come out. The Steelbook doesn't look too crazy, but again, I don't own this movie. They're asking $28 for it. Again, on the higher side, but it is a pretty good movie, and I have no doubt it's going to look really good on 4K. Also, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse is getting a reprint as well. This is just the Blu-ray, no 4K option for this Steelbook, which is kind of weird because there obviously is a 4K of this movie. I own it back there. I've done a separate video talking about the Spiderverse movies because the rest of the Spiderverse movies are also coming out this month. This is a pretty big month, honestly, for movies, not just for Steelbooks, for movies in general. And so I'll just kind of go through some of the options that are available. But again, I've done a separate video on this. So you've got the DVD and Blu-ray option here. Then you've got the 4K option, different art for the 4K. You've got the Steelbook option at Best Buy. Target also has an exclusive as well, and Walmart has their own Steelbook option, which is a pretty much a rarity. But that's only for Blu-ray. Again, I go into more in depth on a separate video talking about these. Another reprint coming out is the Equalizer. Equalizer 3 just came out in theaters, so they're reprinting the first Equalizer. I think they're reprinting the second Equalizer Steelbook as well. And I actually just picked up the 4K still sealed at the used bookstore. I think I paid $14 for it, so definitely a pretty good deal on my part. But Steelbook looks really cool. I've never actually seen the Equalizer movies, but I've heard they're really good, so looking forward to checking that out. You've also got the 100-year Disney Steelbooks. You know, I don't like these. This is the Iron Man one. I don't like these designs. I know a lot of other people don't like them either. But yeah, here's the 4K Iron Man 100 years Disney here. Let's move on to some other Steelbooks here. Expendables, right? All three are coming out on 4K Steelbook, and they're asking $22 a piece for them. I think they look really cool. Now, me personally, I've already owned the first two on 4K, so I don't think I'm going to be upgrading. I think that they're really good action movies. Obviously, I really do like these designs. If I didn't already own it on 4K at $22, very reasonable. They look really cool. They definitely all complement each other. I think they look really great up on a shelf. It looks like they've got different color slips as well for the Steelbooks. Yeah, I really like the designs here, but yeah, and I'm not a fan of the third Expendables movie. Didn't really care for it that much. They tried to they wanted the PG-13 rating for that one instead of rated R, and you can feel it when you're watching the movie that it just feels off. Next up is Disney Pixar's Elemento, which has had a weird box office journey. I'm not a box office channel, so I'm not really going to jump into talking all about the particulars of that. I'll just say that as someone who enjoys movies, I think Pixar's best days are behind them at this point. Personally, this isn't one that's something I'm probably going to check out, but I have been a fan of Pixar in the past. Haven't seen it, so I won't say if it's good or bad because I haven't seen it. So this is the standard Blu-ray, and then here's the Steelbook. Kind of a boring Steelbook if I'm being honest. But the real shocker, or not really a shocker at this point, is the fact that they're asking $40 for this one. $40.
Who you think you kidnapped Chelsea Clinton?
And once you pay tax, you're looking at $45 for this movie on Steelbook. Disney has consistently over the last year charged like $40 for their Steelbooks, right? They did it with Avatar. They did it with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've just seen every time there is a Disney Steelbook coming out, they are the most premium option at $40. And I mean, I guess they're selling them. Some people are buying them. I think that $40, even if this was a movie that I loved, I don't know if I want to pay $40 for it. So they're also charging $40 for the Little Mermaid Steelbook. This is the live action adaptation of the story. I don't have anything nice to say about it, so I'm not going to say anything at all because I haven't seen it. So what I will say is that in general, I think the Disney live action movies are soulless cash grabs, and they usually feel that way. I won't say this one because I haven't seen it, but in general, that's my outlook on them, and I don't watch them anymore. But the fact they're asking $40 for this one, and Elemento also $40, kind of goes to prove what I'm saying is Disney is just charging too much for their Steelbooks for their new releases, in my opinion. So those are my picks for the releases here in September, as well as some picks I think you guys might be interested in. Some things like The Exorcist, which aren't necessarily my cup of tea, but I know some people are interested in it. I want to talk about it here in this video. I'm going to try and continue doing these monthly releases as long as you guys are interested in them. Again, sorry, this one is late. I apologize. And please comment and let me know what what you guys are the most interested in this month. If I talked about it here or if I didn't talk about it, always interested to see what you guys are picking up in the comments below. I just want to thank everybody for sticking around on this video. Thank you, subscribers. All of you are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geetrue64, and I'll always tell you the truth.